Attention, young people of the world, millennials, iGeners, whatever you're called. This video is intended to make your life better. That's right, to make your life better.
TMP life philosophy. Maybe I should use this for the whole video. Don't do it, Nutton. Don't do it. Okay, sparingly. But yes, having fun with the intro, I know, but I am serious about that. I am serious about making your life better. In order to do that, we have to get under the hood. We have to talk about some serious things, some misinformation, perhaps some dysfunctionality, both societal and maybe within your own family, so you can progress, so you can find true and lasting happiness, so you can become an independent, well-rounded individual. Now, this is a single video for now. I may make it into a series. I don't know. I have to be motivated as the creator of the content. So if it's well received, it's highly watched, I have a lot more to say on the subject. What's that? What's the subject? Oh, glad you asked. Where'd that megaphone go? The subject is this:
overcoming bad parenting. You heard me right. I said overcoming bad parenting.
Man, that's fun.
Parenting.
That's right. But you know what? Everyone's been parented badly. They have. The honest truth is there are no perfect parents. Maybe have some friends, extended family, and their lives look idyllic. Trust me, they're not. There's no perfect parents. In fact, I think most parents, to include myself, are pretty crappy. We make a lot of mistakes. We don't mean to. Sometimes we have a game plan, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we implement that game plan properly, sometimes we don't. And mistakes are made. So this video is going to go under the umbrella of, here it comes, got to do it,
overcoming bad parenting.
Yes, that, but it's going to have a subset because there's a lot of different things that will fall under that. And we need to kind of focus in on one thing at a time. I will try to do that. I might bleed over into other subject matter. Hang with me. Watch the whole video, start to finish. Try to integrate what I'm going to teach you. And I think it may make your life happier, better, more fulfilling. And you saw the title. You know where I'm going. I need to set a couple ground rules first. And I may say if I do other videos in the series, I don't know. But if I do, the ground rules will remain the same. The first and foremost is young person, millennial, watching this video, meant for the entire world. iGener, Z-Gener, whatever you are, young person, I'm here to help you. Okay, I'm not here to criticize you. We're going to get under the hood and we're going to talk about some attitudes that might have to be changed. So you have to be an adult about it. You have to receive the criticism well. Just don't click away from the video and go to something meaningless like another cat video or something ridiculous. This is meaningful. What you're watching right now is meaningful. Stick with me. Listen to the criticism. Some of it may sting. You may go, oh, I don't like that he said that. Let's get under the hood, find out what's going on. It may not apply to you. So maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know you. You're the one that knows yourself. It may not apply to you. But you have to take honest inventory of yourself. Young person. You have to. I don't have a dog in the hunt. You're not my employee. I'm not related to you. I will probably never meet you in my life. I'm not doing this to make money. I'm not doing it to be famous. I'm just doing it to help the world and to help you. Because if we can fix millions upon millions of young people, we can fix society. We can make it a better place to live. We can bring into our daily lives more consideration, more kindness, and making the world a more awesome place to live. And while we do that, you'll find that you will achieve personal and lasting happiness if you implement, I believe, the concepts I will attempt to share with you on this video. So that's ground rule. I don't have a dog in the hunt. I'm not trying to criticize you. I'm not trying to make fun of you. Again, I'm going to talk honestly. I won't pull punches, but we have to be that way. There's no political correctness here and all the crap you see on the media. No. It's honesty. I feel that in the Nutnfancy Project, it's been my motto for a long time that I deliver truth to make things better. Whether I'm reviewing gear, jacket, condor, fleece, love it by the way, whatever. I have to be truthful because that will stand the test of time. Everything else will melt away. It will go away and it won't count for crap really over the span of time. It may peak or spike and then it'll just crash down. Should have used the megaphone for that sound effect. I only want the best for you, young person watching this video. And again, team peers, if you know people or if you're young, this video is for everybody, not just my subscribers, not just my Patreon members. This will break first in Patreon. Love those guys. Sign up below if you care. If you don't, still love you. It's meant for the world, so share it. I only want the best for you. I'm an impartial party. That's pretty good, right? I'm not your parent. I'm not your dad. I'm not your mom. I'm also not a professional. What I'm going to share with you is just my opinion based on a lot of living. A lot of living. I've been around, seen a lot of things. Retired lieutenant colonel in the Air Force, flying that plane as one of them. But that's just a small portion of my life. And so I've interacted with thousands upon thousands of people. I've learned a lot of things. I do have a morality system. I don't shove it down people's throats. I believe it myself. I think it'll be at the heart of what I'm going to share with you now. And I would just ask you, when you hear the things I'm telling you, do it in a quiet place. Don't have music playing, don't have distractions, and see if what I'm telling you here at the end, when I give you perhaps a couple ideas on how you can repair the thing we're talking about, and see if it rings true. Or if it's just a bunch of crap. That's up to you to determine. And, the bottom line too is relax. It's just a video.
Delivered from the bunker of the Nutnfancy Project.
Which, by the way, it's like 45 degrees in here, and I love it. I love it cold. It's perfect. Makes me happy. Okay, so that's the foundation. We are in the bunker. Thanks so much for clicking on the video. What do we want to talk about? Well, brace yourself. Brace yourself. We're going to get under the hood now. We're going to take a look at you. And again, maybe this applies to you. Maybe it doesn't. Okay, but we need to talk honestly. Yes, I have to use the megaphone, and here it comes.
Nobody owes you anything in life.
How's that? That's right.
Nobody owes you crap in life.
What? What? You can't say that, Nutnfancy. Well, we have to be honest, and it's true. Now, a lot of the young people in this world, not all of them, a lot of them, do have a sense of, here it comes, entitlement. Entitlement, which, by the way, it would help to define, wouldn't it? Looked it up, printed it out right here, and it's just, I don't know, standard definition. There's multiple definitions. I think the one that comes to our minds when we discuss this is the belief that one is inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment. And then you might add at the end of that, without earning it. Because if you're working hard at a job and you're busting your butt, you're putting in extra hours, I don't think it's unreasonable to feel entitled to perhaps more pay, perhaps a job advancement. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. And I've talked to a lot of TMPers, my audience members over the years, and they've said as much. Say, hey, I'm in this job. I've been over backwards. I'm working hard. I can't get ahead. I feel like I'm getting blackballed in this occupation. I really don't know where to go. What should I do, Nutnfancy? Now, I do have a series of questions to Nutnfancy, QTN. It's usually posted on my B channel. If you type in Google, the Nutnfancy Project, no spaces in Google, it will take you to that B channel here on YouTube if you care. More coming, by the way. And I'll put the PO box address below if you have questions, send them. Generally, what I tell that person, if they write in like that, is I really want to confirm the truth, because there's really two sides to every story. And I go, sometimes I'll contact them and go, what's really going on? And I find out that it's legit what they said. It's like they're getting blackballed and they can't get ahead. And so, cutting to the chase, I say, quit that job and get to something better. But I say, don't quit your job immediately. Get that other job rolling, and then you swing from one vine, grab the other, and then you can go on. When I talk about a sense of entitlement, I'm talking, I think a lot of my generation and those that came before me are talking about people, young people, who feel like they're owed the world. That they haven't earned it. They haven't put in the hours. They didn't get the education. That they deserve a big fancy car immediately. They deserve a huge fancy house immediately. They deserve the promotion at work, even though they're brand new. They haven't put in the time. They really don't know the business. And they just deserve everything handed to them without earning it. That's the definition. That there's a lot of young people that feel that way. How is it manifest? Oh, in so many ways. So many ways. One is at the workplace. Now, again, remember what I said, there are no perfect parents. And by the way, you're looking at one. A lot of people come to T&P and they go, oh, you're the perfect dad. I tried really hard, but honestly, and I'm just going to totally level with you guys, I don't think I worked my kids hard enough. I think I was a little too easy on them. There's an admission right there. I'm being serious, dude. I should have worked them harder. I should have had them shoveling mud in the rain, digging gravel pits. Now, I do have a wife with 30 years that probably would not have signed off on that. That's the other half of it. Oh my goodness. But I tried, but I'm not a perfect dad. I made a lot of mistakes. And looking back how I raised the boys, I wish I would have worked them harder and more diligently in really miserable circumstances. I'll get back to the workplace example here in a second. Let me show you an example of how my dad raised me. I don't think I've ever said this one on camera. And I'm not going to tell you I look at my, when it was happening, that I looked at my dad and go, oh, I have such a great dad. He's so awesome. He's so caring. He's teaching me principles that will serve me my entire life. You know what I was saying when Dad was working us, my sister, my brother, myself, so hard? This is what I was saying.
I pretty much hate you.
That's what I said. I was just like, yeah, this guy sucks. I did. I was like, here's an example. Like he said, we were at this house, ton of weeds. We're getting ready to lay down sod. We're going to landscape, but it's rocky. We just moved into this house. Tons of huge weeds. And he's like, I want you to weed this entire yard from top to bottom. I want you to get that landscape rake. You're going to level it out. You're going to take all these rocks. You're going to put them in a wheelbarrow and you're going to put them in a pile in the driveway and then we'll haul them off. And I don't want you dicking around. I want you working on this. Guess what I did? I worked for about an hour. I looked and saw he went on some errands and I went down the street to my friends and started playing guns. Guess who comes back? You guessed it. And I got in trouble. Now, he didn't come up to me and box my ears. I mean, my dad would spank us, but he didn't do it then. But he yelled at me. He's like, I told you to get in the yard, get back there, get going. And I was ticked. I thought it was unjust. I thought I was being, just basically treated like a slave. And I worked in that yard, and my brother helped me too. We worked in that yard, I think, for like a week before we had it done. And we did it. We did all the work, and that's picking up these huge rocks, and we put down topsoil. We learned how to use a landscape rake. It started raining. Did I tell you that? Now it starts raining. We're in there working, and you know what I'm saying?
I hate my dad.
That's what I said. I was like, this sucks. And my brother was saying the same thing. But now, looking back, I see the wisdom of my dad. I see the wisdom. Because after many tasks like that growing up, and there were a lot more, it turns out my dad was a pretty good dad after all. He knew how to make me work. I've made multiple videos on this, like Workers Are Few, Live to Impress Yourself. I'll put links to these videos below. You should watch them. A lot of the same concepts will emerge in those videos. But he worked us hard, unapologetically. He didn't come to me as a kid and goes, you know what? Nutnfancy, you're so special. You're my baby boy. And because you're my baby boy, I'm going to shield you from all of the unpleasantness of the world. You're special. You're owed the world. And I'm going to make sure you have everything. You don't have to lift a finger. I'll give it to you. That's not what he said. You know what my dad's message to me was? Hey, there's a lot of great stuff in this world. We have some of it, but it's because I've worked my butt off to get it. You can do the same, but you're going to work your butt off to get it. No one owes you anything. Okay? I don't owe you a living. I don't owe you nothing except I gave you life. I've given you morals. I've given you a direction, and I've taken care of you as a child. But once you get to adulthood, you're on your own, buddy. That's what he taught me. Contrary to the messages being sent out for decades in the United States. And again, I don't think parents really understand what they're doing. I don't think they mean to ruin their children. I think they love their children, and it's my generation, maybe it's the baby boomer generation, and maybe they had it really, really bad, and they go, I'm not doing that to my kids. I don't want my kids to have to suffer what I suffered through. And so in doing so, they make a very big parenting mistake, though, and that is they shield their children from the problems of life. They teach their children that they are, like we just saw, special. And somehow along the way, a lot of children get the message, hey, I'm special. I really don't have to work that much in life to get what I want. Life owes it to me because I'm special. And maybe they go on social media, they interact with people that think the same way they do, and then this feeling is reinforced. It's aggrandized, and it grows into this, narcissistic impression that, hey, the world revolves around me. I don't really have to work. There's lots of awesome things in the life. I'm just owed those things. Going back to my upbringing, I pretty much was sent the message effectively by my father is that's not the case. You need to put your shoulder to the wheel and start pushing to achieve a good life. Thank you, Dad. My mom taught me the same thing, but my dad really hammered it home. And by the way, if you don't know, I come from a broken family. My mom and dad divorced when I was 7. So I don't come from some idyllic background. June and Wally Cleaver? That's not me. I'm a broken home dude. Broken home. Let's go back to that workplace. So we were talking about entitlement. How does it manifest? Well, workplace is a great place to find out when a kid has entitlement. Number one, they're usually not reliable. They show up late for work. They cancel at the last second. They make up excuses why they can't come to work. I did a video of tradesmen are few, about how the trades, I'm talking welders, pipe fitters, cement workers, you name it, they are critically undermanned. And every single one of those trade bosses told me in that video that I cannot find workers. I cannot find millennial workers, Z-Geners that show up and that are reliable. He's like, it's very difficult. They'll work for a little while and then lo and behold, they just quit showing up. That's a sense of entitlement. Says me. That's all it is, my opinion. That they feel like I shouldn't have to work this hard to get the good life. Think about that. That it goes back to what I said. It's like, well, the good life is out there. I see a lot of people living it, especially on the artificiality of Hollywood and the TV and on the internet. A lot of YouTube channels, they promote the good life and it's smoke and mirrors. And they see this like, why should I have to work so hard to get it? No one told me I had to work this hard. Going back to, you guessed it, mom and dad. The bad parents. And oh, by the way, there are no good parents, says me. We all are flawed. Everyone's flawed. So they don't show up to work. Another way it's manifested at the workplace is they complain. They're always murmuring, always complaining. Nothing's ever right for them. Yeah, this and that. I can't believe I have to go out to the parking lot to get all these carts. What? I have to go and clog the toilet in the bathroom. Now, my youngest son, last suspect, worked at a grocery store. And he did just that. Everything I just said was from him. So he gathered carts. He was a bagger. He had to unclog the toilets. He had to pick up pee bottles that were full of pee from the bushes and a lot of other gross things that have to be done to keep a place nice. Pick up garbage. Now, I did say I don't think I taught my boys perfectly how to work. I don't think I did. I did do my best. And I think somewhere along the way they got the message. Because in that job, my youngest son, last suspect, who's in his 20s now, worked his butt off. His employer loved him. And as he did it, he'd look around and other kids were out there fooling around, texting, hiding in the closet, texting like, yeah, I'll be off in about 3 hours. I'm just hiding in here so I don't have to work. Who was out doing all those unpleasant tasks? My kid. I tried my best not to raise him or his older brother with a sense of entitlement. I told him, I was like, verbally, I was just always saying this. No one owes you anything. You need to get out there and work. You need to prove to your boss that you're reliable. You're not afraid to do the lower tasks. And if you do that, you'll get pay increases. You'll get promotions, which he did. But a lot of them, they're complaining. They're like, yeah, I shouldn't have to. Ooh, gross. It's a pee bottle. Well, I didn't throw it there. Someone threw it in. It's a bottle full of urine. What are we going to do? Just leave it there so our customers walking in see it? Someone's got to pick it up. Dirty jobs. Ask Mike Rowe about that. Love Mike Rowe, by the way. Hey, Mike, what's up? Love him. He gets all this, by the way. He talks about this all the time. Manifesting entitlement at the workplace. They ask for more money than they're worth. They will turn down jobs that don't suit their high station. They come out of college with a 4-year degree and expect to be making like $100,000 a year. What? I'm starting at $40,000 a year. Forget that. And so a lot of them actually remain unemployed because nothing comes up to their high status of themselves, their self-image of, hey, I'm not worth it. I went to college. I shouldn't have to start at the bottom. The reality is, yes, you should have to start at the bottom. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe you start at mid-level. Some do. Maybe you're so talented coming out of college that your portfolio is so amazing that people go, oh my goodness, we're going to start you at 60,000 and you're 22 years old. Maybe that happens. But what if it doesn't? Are you going to sit on your hands? You're going to cry about it and you're going to say, oh, this sucks. The world isn't treating me fairly. There are a lot that do. And they blame the world. Entitlement is very manifest at the workplace and in school. They think that, everything should be given to them. The downside to feeling that way, whether it's an outgrowth of how you were raised from your parents, bad parenting, or somehow along the way you got that message and you incorporated it into your character, is it can lead actually to depression. It can actually make you very sad in life because you have an idyllic vision of how your life should be going. You have an idyllic vision of the way things should be, that I should have a nice car, I should have a place, I should be going to Italy like I see on the YouTube channels. I should be, jetting around, and it's not working for me. I'm not making the money I can. I don't know what I'm going to do. And lo and behold, you have a huge sense of failure for your own life. If you were to look at your life though and step back, really it may not be that big of a failure for where you are at your age. But because you have this sense of entitlement, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but for those that do, it creates this false image of where you should be at a certain point in your life. And then through social media, what goes on? Everybody compares himself to everybody else because they see it. They put these artificial images on Facebook, FaceTube, made that up, Instagram, shows them perfect. Oh, check me out, man. I'm here in Hawaii. Woo, what's up? We're having a keg. Or, oh, check this car out, man. This is my boyfriend's car. It's not your boyfriend's car. You saw it in a parking lot and you took a picture of it and posted it like it was your boyfriend's car. That's the reality of a lot of this stuff. It's just crap. It's artificiality. It's just image, fake image, as everyone's trying to out-impress everybody else. And a lot of people look at that, though, and they digest it. They incorporate it in how they think, and they go, oh my gosh, my life is such a failure. I don't look like that. I don't have those cool things. I don't go to those cool places. I suck. And now these folks are depressed. All stemming perhaps from a sense of entitlement. If we were to contrast that against someone who does not have a sense of entitlement, this is how it works. If I were to tell you one adjective or one attribute these individuals have, it would go like this.
They're scared.
You heard me right.
Scared, as in fear.
That's me. That's me. So if you're not entitled, you kind of approach life in kind of a fearful fashion. It's not like you're like, oh, I'm so scared. That's not what I'm saying. But you're like, whew, I don't really have any guarantees in life. I got to make this happen. I got to work. It's like, it's like a drawbridge just raising up, and you see the drawbridge coming up, and you got to get to the other side. And you're like, I got to make this. And you're running up the drawbridge, and you make that leap. You're trying to grab to the other side. Boom, you hang on. Oh, I just made it. And you climb to the other side. That's how I feel my life has gone the entire time. It wasn't like there's an operator of the drawbridge saying, hey, dude, come on down. We'll wait for you. That's not how it goes. Not for me. I feel like I'm always running up the drawbridge, but I'm running. And I have a sense of anxiety. Those that are not entitled have that. And you're going to see 1,000 comments below this video of guys saying that. They're going to say, yeah, that's me. I'm scared. My dad didn't give me anything. My grandma didn't give me anything. I've just worked my butt off. What Nutnfancy's saying is true. I was able to achieve great things because of my own work ethic, because I too ran up the drawbridge. Anxiety, fear, versus an entitlement attitude where you're just kind of like this in life. Yeah, I got it. I'm good. I'll make it. Oh, pee bottle. I'm not picking that up. Showing up to work on time. Overrated. Not doing it. That's what I'm saying. That's the entitlement attitude. So now's the time when you look at yourself seriously, retrospectively, honestly. Do you have a sense of entitlement, young person? Well, yeah, Nutnfancy, I kind of do. And you mentioned some things about upbringing, about how my parents raised me. I had good parents. They loved me. And they kind of gave it to me. And yeah, I do. If you do, the first step to correcting it is realizing that you're kind of that way. And guess what? It's not the end of the world. Doesn't mean we hate you. Doesn't mean anything, really. Just means maybe, just maybe, we can do a little bit of a course correction and go this way. Parents aren't the only ones to blame, by the way, for giving you a sense of entitlement. Schools, media, political correctness imbued in every part of our society, where we as a society somehow determine that it's bad to say that you failed. Outcome-based education. We don't assign letter grades. Everybody gets a participation trophy. Oh, you did so good. You did so good. The kid came in last place. Does he need a participation trophy? The downside to approaching life that way is that it masks truth. That it acts like that everybody's equal. They're not. Some are more talented than others. Some are better looking. Some have more advantages than others. Some have family connections for their work, for their income, and it'll serve to their benefit. But here's what I've learned in my years here on the earth. It really doesn't matter if you can work. If you approach life with a sense of anxiety and you just go, oh, I got to get up. And you start, and I tell my boys this all the time, you need to hustle. Hustle. Get up and hustle. Go get it. Go get it. Anything's possible. It doesn't matter your race. Doesn't matter your sex. The doors are wide open for you if you can just apply yourself. And I'm talking your dream job. Hey, I want to be a marine biologist, like George and Seinfeld. Great episode, by the way. Go be a marine biologist. Doors wide open for you. Go qualify yourself. Find out what the job's about. Get your education. Go talk to people who do it. Start running up that dang drawbridge and make it happen. Don't sit back and wait for someone to call you out of the blue. Hi there, Cynthia. Yeah, we saw that you had, a B- grade point average coming out of college. We'd like you to be a marine biologist for us here at the Marine Institute. Doesn't happen. A lot of people, and I'm being kind of funny when I say that, but a lot of people will approach it that way. They act like the phone's going to ring. They're going to ask me to come aboard, and I can get everything. Now, if you're a parent and you're watching this, and this video is primarily intended for the young people of the world, actually almost exclusively, but look at your parenting style right now. Are you imbuing your children with a sense of entitlement? Don't protect them from the unpleasantness of life. you are doing them a huge disservice. They should feel pain, like backpacking. I had knee pain. I fell down, split my hand open, bleeding all over the place. My dad was right there. He was great with it, by the way. You should feel, the discomfort of a hard day's work. You work 9 hours, half-hour lunch break. Never killed anybody. It's good. Should not protect them from failure. Failure is a great teacher. Some of the most successful people in the world failed many, many times. Go look at Edison's life. Fail, 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 fail. Oh, success. Fail, fail, fail. What separates them from the masses are they get up and they try again. And they don't give up. If you're a parent, though, it's okay to let your kid fail. It's okay to say, hey, I'm sorry, it just didn't work out. You failed this time, and then sit down and have an honest talk of what we can do to prevent it in the future. Failure is a great teacher. Pain is a great teacher. It just is. Life is difficult. And to shield our children from difficult life imbues a sense of entitlement. That they come out of our front door at age 25. Jeez, megaphone. I'm kidding about that. But kids are living at home a lot longer. And they may go out into the world thinking that, hey, it's going to be a piece of cake. And what they do is they fail. And employers aren't digging it. Because they find these kids don't put in the work hours. They are not innovative. They don't lean forward. And again, I'm generalizing. There's some really, really great millennials, Z-Geners that completely break this mold. Generally, they've come from parents that kind of taught them something along the way, or they taught themselves. Which gets to another point, actually, and I'm glad I remembered this, is maybe you had good parents, maybe you had bad parents, maybe you had no parents at all. But you know what? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Because you got videos like this. You've got information at your fingertips. You're a smart individual. Doesn't matter how you were brought up. Buck up, make it happen. Make it happen. Drive on. I've met a lot of people and they're super successful and I start talking to them. I get to know them and, I start asking questions about their backgrounds and there are a couple that have really astonished me. I met this kid. He was a jet pilot in the Air Force. He's a Latino background kid. Loved him. Turned out to be a good friend of mine. And I asked him about his family. And it turns out his family still lived in Costa Rica. It's like, well, how did you get over here? He's like, well, I wanted to be a pilot. And he talked about how he did it. He came over here, didn't know anybody, found out what the requirements were to become a military pilot, and he did it. And I was like, that is awesome. If he can do it, you can do it. Well, I'm not just talking military pilot. I'm talking doing anything. You too can achieve great things. It's right over here. It's right there. You just got to go get it. You got to go work to get it. You won't do it through a sense of entitlement. It's not going to be delivered to you on a silver platter. The phone's not going to ring for that $100,000 job just out of the blue. You got to go hustle it. There's that word again. Doesn't matter your upbringing. Doesn't matter if you had great parents, bad parents, no parents. Doesn't matter. You're still smart. You're your own person. You're in a free country. Change your attitude to change your life. To change your character. Doesn't matter your upbringing. We all had parents that kind of sucked. Welcome to the club. We all come from broken homes. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us do. We put it behind us. We take the good, bring it into our lives. We incorporate it. Shuck the jive, as I always say, the crap. And then we repair or try to fix in our generation, in our own household, the things that were amiss in our own upbringing. But you're not going to achieve greatness through a sense of entitlement. Maybe you will. I mean, there are certainly people that do, but I think overall, probably not. Now, I printed this off the internet. It's another example of entitlement. I don't know what website this came from. I probably should have written it down. And it's another example, not really in the workplace. It's kind of overarching. And I'll just read it to you. And it's pretty good, actually. And they're talking about millennials, but we can also talk about the subsequent generation, because I think the millennials are now approaching their 30s, right? But we can talk about Z-Geners. Some people call them I-Geners. Just basically young people. They're raised on social media. They don't know what a freaking cassette player is. They don't know what a rotary phone is. They've always had the internet. Those folks, you guys, not blaming you. I'm just trying to describe the generation. Even when millennials are in the driver's seat when it comes to portraying themselves in pop culture, they've often chosen to paint themselves with an entitled or narcissistic brush. That's pretty interesting, actually. Hannah Horvath, the lead character portrayed by Girls creator and writer Lena Dunham, born in 1986, she's a millennial, is a prime example. So Girls is some, HBO program or something. I don't know, never watch it, never will. But good example coming your way. When Hannah lands a job at GQ, she immediately takes egregious advantage of the free snacks. When the publisher of her book unexpectedly dies, she uses his funeral to accost his widow about who will take over her project. When her parents decide to stop paying her rent 2 years after she graduates college, she is stunned. That's pretty telling right there that, what? I have to pay my own living expenses? How dare you? You should pay for me. You should pay for my college. You should pay for my food. You should pay for my car insurance. You should pay for my gas. Entitlement. Good example there. It does not seem a coincidence that Dunham wrote this line of dialogue for Hannah in the very first episode of HBO series. I think that I may be the voice of my generation. Is it fair to compare the narcissism of millennials to previous generations, given that the millennial generation has come of age amid the rise of selfies and social media? And they go on to talk about that. And they draw some conclusions. I like this one down here. We decided to reach out to the millennials in our study who described their generation as entitled to get more insight as to what they meant. That's pretty interesting, by the way, because millennials themselves describe themselves as entitled. Hey, describe your generation. Entitled. Are you entitled? Oh, no, not me. Hey, Mom, where's my car payment? Did you make my car payment this year or this month? And how they view the world. Many hold the standard, critical view of their own generation. The problem with my generation is that everyone thinks they're special. Boom, man, that just really drives to the heart of it. Participation trophies, you can do no wrong, we love you, we never hold you to a standard, there's no consistent discipline in the house. That's something I haven't even touched on. That's huge, by the way. I think a good parent should provide discipline. My dad was good at that. I told you about the yard example. He didn't come home and go, oh, you want to play guns? Oh, that's so cool. You're being accepted and you're able to hang out with your friends in the neighborhood. So when you're done, come back. And if you have time, maybe you can, weed the yard. That's not what Dad said. He's like, I don't give a crap. Leave now, get your ass back to the yard and start plucking weeds now. Or else. I listened, bro. I listened. Yeah, discipline is a very important part of raising children. Consistent, loving discipline. I'm not talking about beating on them. I'm talking about disciplining them. Teaching them standards of behavior. If a kid's like my kid being in a public place and he's throwing a tantrum, I'd take him aside. It's like, that's not appropriate behavior. You don't do that here. Yeah, but I didn't get my way. Welcome to life. You're not going to get your way ever behaving like that. Go over there in that quiet corner and put your nose in that corner and I'll tell you when you can leave. Parenting. I can't tell you how many public places I see where I see zero parenting. Kids are just screaming, being obnoxious to everybody, causing a ruckus, and the parents over there going, oh, how cute. Isn't he special? Isn't she so special? No, not really. They're bugging everybody else. They're pissing everybody else off. But you don't care because you think your child owns the world and you're imbuing in her a sense of entitlement that she will have to struggle with her entire life. Instead of saying, hey, Sarah, get down from the chair, quit pulling on that guy's hair and get over here right now. And, putting down a punishment that she cares about. Hey, I'm going to take your game away, your phone away for a week and mean it. And yes, spanking should be in the repertoire. Sparingly, occasionally. But, they think they're special. That's another reason they've ended up that way. No discipline. And then when they go to a workplace where there is discipline, there are consequences in life for you not performing. You show up late, you're unreliable, you complain, you steal things, guess what? The real world isn't going to tolerate it. They're going to say this.
You're fired. Get out of here.
That's what they're going to say. And then the entitled one goes, what? Just like this. You're not making my rent payment. You fired me for this. All this stuff belongs to me. I own the world. So she makes a good point. This is Marissa K., I can't pronounce her last name, who was born in 1982 and lives in New York State. While it is true we are all different and have the right to be heard and respected, true, she thinks the everyone is special attitude completely democratizes the playing field, not by merit. When asked why she thinks millennials are considered entitled, she says, because there are too many unqualified idiots going to college and then expecting to be set for life with no further effort. Yeah, I agree with that. There are no guaranteed outcomes, and that's what society is pushing forth. They're like, well, you shouldn't have any risk in life. You should be guaranteed an income just for being you. You should be guaranteed an iPhone just for being you, a place to live, and that is false. It's false. That money's got to come from somewhere. The house will collapse upon itself if we as a society continue to do this. It's garbage. No apologies. It's total crap. Everyone has to contribute to society, to have goods or services put in a societal form where they're paid according to their value to society. You provide high value to society, guess what? Your pay goes up. Hey, that's a really cool skill level you have. You're a marine biologist. We don't have too many here. So we're going to go ahead and, give you a raise. You're a doctor. You're a pilot. You're a lawyer. You're a concrete layer. We need those. You're a refrigeration repair technician. We need those too. Guess what? You're making $80,000 a year. And you show up on time. You're working your butt off. And lo and behold, you can pay your bills. And then, what do you know? You can buy a nice car then. Then you can buy a house and you really have earned it. It wasn't delivered to you on a silver platter. You went out and grabbed it. You ran down the ramparts. You go, hey, I'm getting there. And I know a lot of people, a lot of teen peers who've done just that. Young kids that started watching me in like 2008. And now they're in their mid-20s. And they write me all the time. It's like, dude, thank you so much for the philosophy videos. I mean, I've put them into play and it totally played out. It's true. I have a wife. I have a young kid now. I'm doing my best to teach that child about the things you talk about. And it's really gratifying for me to see. So are you done with your personal inventory right now of whether you're entitled or not? Now we get to the fun part. How can you correct it? How can you correct it? This one you'll never see coming. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. So let's say I'm you. I'm watching this video. Let's say I'm mature enough to take the criticism like an adult. And I do a personal inventory. And I go, I'm kind of entitled. I kind of think that, everyone owes me a life. I was pissed about my employment. And as I look at it, I really wasn't a great worker. I expected higher pay. I have a huge credit card bill because I think I'm deserved everything in life. I'm spending way past my income level. I'm fighting depression. Let's say you go through all this and you go, okay, I'm entitled. How do I correct it? The first thing I'll tell you is forget yourself. It seems like it's completely counterintuitive. Don't think about yourself. In fact, that is one of the biggest problems about entitlement is that it is self-centered. It's centered around selfishness. Me, mine. I need this. I'm not getting this. Sense of entitlement. It's that little girl crying and not parented. Forget all that. Go out and serve others. You want to break your sense of entitlement? You go out and serve others that are a lot worse off than you. It could be in your own neighborhood. Get out, be friendly with people, go out, meet them, and see if there's anything you can do to help that family, those people. Serve them. And what's going to happen is your eyes are going to get opened. You're going to look at these people's circumstances and you're going to go, holy crap, I thought I had it bad. And you're going to look at some of the, and I'm tearing up because it's so sad because I've done this before myself. And you're going to look at the trials and tribulations of that family, of those individuals that you're helping. And it's going to put inside of you a sense of humility that will crush the sense of entitlement. Because you're going to look at yourself and you go, oh, I'm not owed anything. Let me look at these people. They have nothing. They might be struggling with serious sicknesses, death in the family. They may have, multiple family members living off one income. That's going to help you. So forget about yourself. Go out and serve. And it can be anywhere. It can be in your church. It can be in your neighborhood. It can be with total strangers. Keep your eyes open. Get out of the phone. Turn your phone off, walk around and look and interact with other human beings and look for opportunities to serve, to break that sense of entitlement. And your eyes will be opened. You're going to have a huge feeling of gratitude for what you do have. You'll look at your life and you go, wow, I thought I really had it bad. I don't. And a lot of what we have in life and a lot of our vector in life is our own attitude. We've all been in the same exact situation before, and because of our own bad attitude, we're miserable. We're going, this sucks. And then something happens, changes our attitude, and then the situation hasn't changed, but suddenly we're happy. You ever done that? I have. You go, what changed? My attitude did. Attitude is everything in life. It's your vector. So to break a sense of entitlement, I do encourage you humbly to go out and serve. Turn off your phone, ignore social media for a span of time. Maybe it's 2 days. Look around you. What's going on? Who's in a worse situation than I am? How can I help those people? You'll be amazed at what you will find. I make you this promise too. If you do it, what I'm saying, get out of social media, open your eyes, start interacting as a human being in society. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to find someone that needs your help. You have a specific skill, a certain personality attribute that can help them, that will be able to touch them and uplift them. I guarantee you this will happen. I give you this promise. It will happen. You will find this person. And you will find happiness in interacting with those people. And I bet you they become friends for life. You're going to learn something about yourself. You're going to open up your eyes to everything I'm talking about. You're going to crush that sense of entitlement. It can't exist with humility. It can't. Those two things are opposite. They're diametrically opposed. You cannot be humble and you cannot be entitled at the same time. In my way of thinking. And that's all it is. Get out and serve. That's a huge way to fight sense of entitlement. Again, it doesn't matter if your parents suck. Everybody's parents suck. I keep hammering that home because it's so true. Another thing you should do, this might be a little bit harder, but ask for honest feedback from your friends. Flat out ask them in real conversation, not on a phone, not in text, face to face. As human beings should communicate whenever possible. I can't here with you. I would if I could. Ask them, do you think I'm entitled? Do you think I have a sense of entitlement? If so, specifically, what makes you feel that way about me? You might be surprised at what you hear. Don't hold them accountable for telling them. You ask for honest feedback. They tell you, so you can't be mad at them. Just say, thank them. Be an adult. Say, thank you. I appreciate that. And they might give you some tips on things you might be able to change in your life. I think getting honest feedback is huge. It's huge. To fight entitlement, you have to understand this too. And this is another big thing. It's as important as serving. Is understanding that the government doesn't owe you anything. Really, after you become an adult, your parents don't really owe you anything. Society as a whole doesn't owe you anything. Your employer does owe you something, and that is for goods and services performed and delivered. I probably got that backwards, but They do, but that's not entitlement. Like I said at the outside, that is, you've worked and all you're doing is getting your recompense. So you're getting compensation for your efforts. That's not entitlement. But understand, you have to cut the ties. You're in charge of your own ship. And I've mentioned that in a couple different ways. Remember, I'm saying you got to get on the right vector. Your attitude is everything. That's what I'm talking about. Is you're in charge. And that is really empowering to understand that, because society teaches a lot of young people that they're not in charge, that there is a system rigged against them, that it's the blame game. I'm here because of this. I'm here because of this people. I'm here because that, I was downtrodden by this group of people. It's a bunch of garbage. It's not true. And you can't think that way and achieve lasting happiness, says me. And that's all it is. You're tuning into my video. I'm giving it to you as a creator of the video. You can't. You have to know that it's me. You bring it all back to yourself. You're in charge of your own ship. You're in the wheelhouse. You're steering your own ship. A lot of people will just let go of the wheel. You know me and my ship examples, right? They'll let go of the wheel. They'll sit back in the wheelhouse texting, and meanwhile, the ship is not being steered. It's just kind of drifting. The engines are running. Where's it going? Who knows? It's drifting left, drifting right. Will it run into an iceberg? Will it run into land? Probably. And then the entitled person, if they don't change, will blame the ship. It's like, why did I run aground? How dare this ship run aground? Well, it ran aground because you're in the back of the wheelhouse texting. You didn't do anything. The wheel's right here. All you have to do is guide it. That's your life. Guide it. Grab the steering wheel and guide it. Where do you want to go? What do you want to be? Dream big. Dream big. And then get rid of the sense of entitlement, because it ain't going to be handed to you on a silver platter, nor should it be. Because if it was, it wouldn't mean that much to you. Don't believe me? Go look at the happiness levels of people who have won lotteries. How happy are they? Millions of dollars came out of the blue sky. Are they happy? Nope. Highly miserable. Last study I checked. Most of them blow it. So money isn't happiness. Self-worth is happiness. Achieving something you're proud of is happiness. That's what you want. Money will come as a result, but it's not the end game. You don't go out chasing greenbacks. Another thing I think young people buy off on. Like, I want to be rich. I want to be rich. Prepare to be miserable. I'm not saying all rich people are miserable. The ones that have great value systems and apply these concepts, they're happy. But they don't like curl up with all their greenbacks in a bed like you see in some movies and like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm so rich. Money don't count for crap. Doesn't make you happy. Pays your bills. Buy some cool things once in a while. It's good to have. I'm not saying it isn't. But don't put your focus on money. You put your focus on your dreams, whatever you want to be. You want to be an Air Force pilot? Go be an Air Force pilot. You want to be a Marine officer? Go be a Marine officer. You want to be a Marine biologist? Awesome. You want to go be a musician? The best ever? Go be a musician. The best ever. Follow your dreams. But don't do it through a sense of entitlement. Get rid of that. Take an honest inventory of how you are now. Go out and serve other people. It will open your eyes. It will imbue within your heart a sense of humility, and your eyes are going to be opened. And then grab a work ethic with goals set to go achieve your dreams. Overcoming, here it comes,
bad parenting.
We all had bad parents in one form of another. Some didn't have any parents at all, ever. That's not an excuse. Now, if you're a parent, once again, try to apply these concepts to your children now. Everything I talked about. Hard work is healthy. Going through life's failures as a kid, healthy. Because they will hit the ground running more prepared than a kid that was coddled. Never told that she or he ever failed in life. That they're super, super special and the world owes them everything. Nutnfancy signing off from
the bunker. Tune in next time.
See ya.